everybody. Thank you so much for coming today for our second episode of Titan Talks. We're so excited for you all to meet our special guest, Fuslie. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. Make sure everybody finishes trickling into the chat. Meanwhile, feel free to start thinking about some questions you might want to ask our guests. And we'll see you soon. Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Sanchez. I am an executive producer for ASI CSUF programming. And today we are featuring popular Twitch streamer, content creator, and UCI alumni, Leslie Fu, otherwise known as Fuslie.
Hey! Wow, popular content creator. Let's
Yes. Oh, man.
Hello,
we're so
everyone.
Excited for you to be here, Fuslie.
Thanks for
Leslie,
having
right?
me.
Yes.
Yeah, Leslie,
Okay,
Fuslie,
great.
whatever you want to call me. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. Before we start, it seems like a lot of people know you already, but could you introduce yourself and give us some background to our audience who may not know who you are?
Yes. Hello. Okay. My name is Leslie, Leslie Fu, aka Fuslie. I am a variety streamer on Twitch, but I also make some content on YouTube and Instagram and social media in general. But my main platform is Twitch. I am 27. So I'm kind of old, but I'm not 30 yet, so I have a couple of years. And then I've also, I have a degree in biology from UC Irvine. So I went to school from I graduated in 2014. And I have, did I say I have a degree in bio? Yeah. And then I started streaming in 2015. So I've been streaming for 5 years now.
Awesome. Yeah, that comes with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in the industry. So we're very excited to have you here. You said you went to UCI?
Yes. So I went to UCI, and that was, I went there for 4 years. I thought I was going to be a doctor. I was, in high school, I wanted to be a nurse. And then, so I applied to UCI to go to, to go to their nursing school. I got rejected. So then I decided I'm going to go into public health and then transfer into their nursing program after 2 years. So while I was there doing public health, waiting to transfer into nursing, I realized that all my peers were pre-med. And I was like, if all my peers can be doctors, then I can be a doctor. So then I went to be pre-med, and then somewhere along the lines I realized like I didn't want to be a doctor, but I still wanted to like do stuff with science and stuff. So I decided to be a vet. I wanted to change my course, and that was about my second or third year in. And then I crammed in all these hours at vet hospitals and whatnot. And then in my very last quarter of college, that is when I had a full meltdown and decided that like none of it was for me, and that I was going to be a teacher. And so then my very last quarter, I was like, oh, great. So I then decided to take a year off in order to get all like the teaching prereqs in order to be a teacher. And in that year, that's when I kind of figured out, or I started to game, and then gaming led to streaming. So.
Oh man. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So you weren't always a gamer?
No. Okay. So I was a gamer. Like, okay, I played Neopets, Habbo Hotel, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Oh, that game was so good. And then I did, okay, the gaming I did was like, I'd come home from school and before my brother came home, and I would turn on his Nintendo 64 and play Star Fox. And the first level over and over and over and over again. So I played that one so many times, and then I never played past that, I think. And then, I remember always hear from my brother's footsteps, and then he'd be walking up. I'd slam the Nintendo 64 out, take Star Fox out, and run to my room. And then, so that was that. I was never allowed to have, like, I don't know why I didn't just get one myself. My parents probably just didn't let me. And then, and I also thought like games were for boys. So I was like, I didn't want to be like playing it, but I really liked it. It was really fun. And then the one game I did play my whole life was Pokemon.
Yes, a classic. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but I didn't get into PC gaming until I didn't like League of Legends was the first game I touched. That was really like kind of intense and more like, and that was 2015.
Oh, okay. That was when after you graduated, you were taking that year?
So in that year, basically, I met a guy. His name was Raymond, and we decided to become last minute roommates. And he's like, because I needed a place to stay in that year off. I was kind of a mess, but he was like, yeah, I have a space in my place with two of my friends, Billy and Alex. So I moved in with Billy, Alex, and Raymond, and then those three played League like so much. So I just wanted to like fit in with my roommates. So I was like, all right, I'll download this game. Like, I'll just play it sometimes. And then I got really into it, and I started like looking up tutorials, guides. I started following LCS. I was like, there's a pro scene for this game. Like, there's like a pro gaming scene in general. Yeah. It blew my mind. Everything was so cool about it. I would like watch TSM Legends, like going to bed. I remember every night, like just like binging all these, like it was so, I would go to LCS in person to like, and I was just like, wow, no way, he lacked in Gragas. That's crazy. I was watching, and my like first thing I'd do is like go to Reddit League of Legends. Like that was like every day I was like keeping up with all the games, and I got really into it. And then I think around when I was about to hit level 30, my roommate Alex, he came to me and he's like, dude, Leslie, like, you know, like you should stream on Twitch. And I remember he would watch Becca, if you know who she's a streamer. She's been around for a long time, and he would watch her a lot. And then from that, I kind of knew what Twitch was because I'd see him watching this girl all the time. Anyways, he encouraged me to start streaming, and then that's kind of how one thing led to another, and then here we are.
Yeah, the steps, you know, they just started going from there. So for those who don't know what like Twitch or like live streaming is, could you like give a little rundown of that?
Yes. Okay. So Twitch is a platform for live streaming. It's primarily a lot of games. That's how it got really popular. I think it was formerly Justin TV, but yeah, it got really popular from people just streaming themselves playing games. Now people can kind of do whatever they want. There's like just chatting, there's art, travel, whatever you want to do. But it is primarily known for games, and it has a really big like meme community. Like the community, like like it's very there's like all these emotes. The culture on Twitch is like something I've never seen before, but like once you start using Twitch a lot and watching it, you like get sucked in. And the like you'll like I feel like if you were to just tune into a random Twitch stream, you would literally have no idea what's going on because the way the chat is moving and what they're saying. But like once you are integrated into the culture, you can tune into all the chats and you can understand what like like these emotes mean and like poggers and like monkus and stuff. I always have to explain to like my friends who like don't like my high school friends or my college friends. They're like, I try to watch your stream, Leslie, but like it's in a different language. And I was like, not in a different language. You just need to understand. All right, this one's poggers, this one's monka this one. They're like, what? Just use smiley faces. And I'm like, no, you have to understand. Yeah, you had to be there, kind of thing. Anyway,
it's just not the same. I think a lot of viewers that don't understand what it is. Like right now, they're looking at our chat, very confused in that same way.
Oh,
replicating that Twitch chat on YouTube here.
Yeah, it doesn't translate that well over because poggers doesn't turn into like a green face. That's like whoa. But yeah, Twitch has its own culture and it's very, very like people love it over there. Right. And so yeah, it's a platform that you can just stream and you can if you can grow that stream into something, then you can turn it into a job, which I've done.
Yeah. And that's what you've done, yeah. And you're on Twitch. You're also a YouTube content creator. What kind of things do you like present? What kind of games do you play? What kind of non-games do you play? What do you do?
So I think the main thing that I do is like I'm very community focused, and I have been since like 2016. I like to think of myself as just a reaction streamer to my community. Like I say something, they say something back. I say something to them, they say something back, and then occasionally we'll play games. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Among Us, which is like the craze that's taken over the world, and it's been really cool. I'd say Among Us has probably been like I like to think of streaming as like there's kind of like eras or arcs to streaming, and like remember this happening or the phase. So this will always be like the Among Us craze, and I think it's probably my favorite like phase that has happened on Twitch because of the collaborations that have happened, like the crossovers from like YouTubers to streamers to I don't know, like you just get to play with so many different people, and I'm just collaborating with so many people that I've been scared to talk to, or just like I've never met them before because they're like the Fortnite streamers, or like you play like Call of Duty or whatever it is, and you never mingle normally because your games don't like line up. It's almost like high school in a way. There's like little cliques. It feels like
getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and you don't usually just DM like someone who plays a totally different game to like play a game. But Among Us has become the game that has allowed so many people to just be like, yeah, you want to play, even though you play Fortnite usually, and I'm a variety streamer or just chatting streamer or whatever it is. So I think that's been really cool. So that's what I've been doing right now. But I think in the past I've done like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, H1Z1, PUBG, so many different games. When I think about it, it's just like time has some single player games like Until Dawn and The Last of Us and Detroit Become Human. Great game.
Yeah, fantastic game. Yeah, you do a lot of great things with different types of games, with different content creators as well. Like, is that kind of like a thing in your job? That's how you network, kind of thing, where these are your friends, but they're also your content creator buddies. Like,
yep. Yeah, it's probably the weirdest thing ever. And we have this conversation with my friends a lot. We'll always just be like, man, like this is so strange. Like we are all friends, but we all work together. The way you meet people in the content creator space is not how you meet someone in college. It's not like, there's so many layers to it, but like, the way you meet people in the content creator space is like you give them a host and then you say, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you in their chat. And they're like, oh, hey. And the first time you'll hear them speak to you is through a camera in front of thousands of people, potentially. Like that is a really weird thing, that like a weird thing I've had to adjust to. And then like the next time they'll stop on my chat, I'm like, oh, hey, I stopped by your chat yesterday. And like, it's just like strange. Like you have to kind of, it's not the normal way. It's not how I learned to socialize. And so at first I really just didn't know how to meet people. But yeah, I think our friend group has well adapted to it, and what we do to make sure like things are good and like, we just we talk off stream a lot. and we just make sure like we have friendships that exist off stream and things that we don't say on stream all the like our friendship doesn't only exist to the public but to each other. And so I just always want to make sure like things are good with my friends. We have a huge friend group actually. Like there's just so many people, and like it's hard to keep tabs on every single person and be super close to every single person. But there are like obviously everyone is close to different people. But like I just want to check in with those friendships. And I try not to like it is really difficult because like when you were friends with someone, you want to collab with them all the time and like mix your work in with them, and then it gets complicated. And then like I've made that mistake many times. I've like moved in with my best friends like over and over and over, and it's caused like some tension in some of my relationships because like sometimes best friends don't make the best roommates, and that's just how it is. But I'm just like, no, we're friends. Let's live together. Go, go, go. But it just
Yeah, so this is how you've managed to like divide your social life and your work as well, because I know your fiance is also a big part of your work as well. And
yes,
can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So I have a fiance. His name is Edison. I met him from my roommate Kimmy. She's also a streamer. She goes by Plushies now, but formerly Angels Kimmy. And we met both when we first started streaming, and I literally had 10 viewers, and I saw that she had 50, and I was really intimidated, and I was like, wow. But we connected through a mutual mod, and our mod's like, hey, you guys, I mod for both of you guys should meet. Anyway, so we met, we moved in together, and she brought her family friend over. So he needed a place to stay because he was in town for some Microsoft Riot thing, I forgot, but he wanted to Microsoft flew him down, and two of his friends bailed on him that weekend. So last minute he asked his former roommate's sister, which is Kimmy, like, hey, can I crash at your place? And Kimmy's like, Leslie, my brother's friend's gonna stay here, don't mind him though. And I was like, okay, whatever, I won't mind him. So then like I remember like he stayed the weekend. I was just like, hey, what's up, nice to meet you. Didn't really like mingle with him at all. He just slept there. I didn't talk to him. And then on the very last day, he didn't go in. He woke up late and he wasn't able to go into like the thing he was supposed to go into, so he just had the whole day. And so from there we hung out with him the whole day, and I kind of was like, oh, I kind of like this guy. And then I really liked that he wasn't part of the streaming space. He was kind of like my escape from streaming. And he helped balance my mental out a lot, because I think with streaming, what can happen is that you kind of lose yourself to it because there's no turning it off. You kind of, though a lot of streamers I've seen talk to this. I don't know, you know who Dr. K is?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of streamers talk to him, and they talk to him about having like there's like, so how I would say is like, there's me, Leslie, and then there's Fuslie. And I think, I'm Leslie before like all the things that made me who I was before I started streaming. And then Fuslie is the person like I put forward, and like that's the stream experience that you get. And I think something that starts to happen is when you stream for so long, you start to mix the two so much that you don't even know who you are. Like you're like, am I just like, am I like who am I? Am I that streamer that you see, or like, do I have a personal life? Because everything in your life, you feel like this need to share. And one thing I did want to touch on is just like one of the downsides of streaming is not being able to clock out. Like when you go to work, you clock in or you clock out, or you hit a certain amount of hours or whatever it is. And I think streaming doesn't give you that, or doesn't promote that as like part of it. The streaming thing is like grind, always be sharing, always be streaming, like, oh my gosh, 200 hours this month, you're insane, go off. Like everyone promotes like post more, do this, share this. Like it becomes like I should always be sharing, I should always be doing this kind of thing. And sometimes you just forget to like it's always a thought in the back of your mind. Something fun happens, I have to share it, because like that's just how that's the best thing to do in this moment. And so I think that that's one of the hardest things. I tangented from the original point.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I think some people were also asking, like Maroon was asking, like, were some of your challenges? So you'd say that definitely is one of the challenges within your job.
Yes, I think that is probably the biggest challenge is that you you kind of lose your you don't lose yourself. Because I also feel like I find myself through streaming. It's weird. Like I feel more myself than I've ever felt like identity wise, like in my whole life. I really relate, or like of course I relate to myself. I am myself. Okay. So I really vibe with who I've become. And and so I think the struggle is the working. It's like the not being able to turn off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes you're trying to just turn off, but then like you're with your friends, and then your friends are like sharing a lot, right? And then you feel like, oh, if they're sharing, then I should share. And so recently I had like a weekend that was like not shared at all, and it was just like a weekend that like I spent with my friends, that there was no pressure. We like to share anything, and it was truly just so great because I didn't ever, anything that happened, I wasn't like, I need to pull out my camera and Instagram story or tweet or whatever. It just felt like I'm just here in the present moment, spending time with people I love. And that like, I feel like can be hard to like find sometimes when you live in a world that's so share, do this, do that, right? So that's how it feels, I think.
That disconnect is very, necessary, very needed, and
yes.
you have that support too with your friends that you've been able to separate as well. Right?
Yeah, I think we all are, like my whole friend group. Almost all of us are streamers. Some of us aren't, which is nice. Like I really treasure the few that aren't streamers as well. They just play games with us. They do their own thing, but like, it's nice to just like, you're off stream together and you kind of just you're not worried about like having, and it's also great to be around people who know what you go through, because it's something that like really, once you're so deep in it, it's actually kind of hard to like relate to people, I think. But people who do the same thing as you do understand the struggles of like turning it off or turning it on, or hitting a certain goal and realizing like that's not like, one other thing I realized is that when I was first wanting to start streaming, I was like, I just want 100 viewers. And if I get 100 viewers on Twitch, like that's amazing. Like you go live and you have 100 people watching you, that fills up a whole room. Like that is amazing. Right. And then when I hit that, I was like, okay, but like I wrote it down and I was like, my end game goal for streaming is to achieve, like, to hit 500 viewers. And if I can hit 500 viewers, I will, like, that's crazy, but like that's where, like, that's it, I've made it. And I remember thinking as I was typing it, like cringing at myself, thinking like, Leslie, stop, like you're never gonna hit that, like stop overachieving. But like I was like, you know what, manifest destiny, this is, I can write, I can have goals. So I just was like, I'll just never share. But I wrote it down, like 500 viewers. And then I remember hitting it one time and I was like, okay, that's a fluke. And then like it happened again and again. And then like it was actually happening. And then from there I was like, well, okay, well I hit 500, but what about 1,000?
Next.
I realized that just kept happening. And so as I went through a dark place where like I felt like numbers controlled a lot of my happiness. And I like sat down with myself and I like realized, like, yeah, I that's not what I want to control my happiness. I want to like be making a meaningful impact on people. I was getting a lot of messages from my community saying like, I've met so many of my best friends through your community. I've met my significant other through your community. Like you don't understand like how like what you've put together. And I realized like when I focused on those kinds of feelings and that it brought me just so much more happiness, and it made me realize like this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's the big picture.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to see it because I'm sitting at this desk with like 5 monitors and everything going on all the time. And and I just do the same thing. I look at a chat, but like, then I go to TwitchCon. Well, not this year, but previous years. And I see real people who are like telling me these things in real life. And I'm like, oh, like it's actually a thing.
So. Yeah, and you've been able to impact a lot of people. I believe you just hit a big milestone of 200,000 on your social media and your YouTube, and 400,000 on Twitch.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like crazy. I can't even like process that those numbers honestly, because I mean, I could try to count to 200,000, but it would take me a long time. And that's like 200,000 people like thought my content was worth following. I didn't get it, but I deal with like a lot of like imposter syndrome. Just like I feel like I don't like really deserve everything I've achieved. I mean, a lot of it's luck, like straight up luck. And that is something like if you want to get into streaming and like be successful, a lot like people ask me all the time, like, how did you become a streamer? How did you get viewers? How did you get to where you are? And like I can't, and any streamer will tell you this, like that you cannot just, here are the steps you take, and then you will be an X viewer amount of streamer. You will be able to, make streaming your full-time job at this point. It takes a lot of hard work, and there's some talent, I suppose, that's required. But a lot of it is luck. It's really like right time, right place. And the biggest advice is just put yourself out there, because if you're not putting yourself out there, like those things that happen on stream, like the less likely they are to happen, because so many amazing random things happen, and like you meet so many people, hosts come in, you get to host people, you're just interacting with your friends through their streams, and sometimes you're live and someone like pops into your chat, asks you to play a game, and then like boom, through that game you meet somebody, like, so you got to be live for those things to happen. And I think that's like what is that saying? It's like luck is when preparation and opportunity meet, or something like that. Sounds
very insightful.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Okay. There's some quote, and I very much vibe with that. It's just like you got to be prepared for those moments, and like you're not going to make it if you just sit there and want to make it and just like I want to be a streamer. You got to make it happen. You got to put yourself out there.
And with streaming, there also I don't want to miss this question real fast, but there's also with going back to like the challenges, you are a community-based streamer, you were saying, and your community is a lot. So Matt Zhang was asking, how do you deal with trolls and haters on the internet?
Oh, well, hello, Matt Zhang. First of all, thank you for your question. How to deal with trolls on the internet? I think that is, how do I deal with it? I just have developed a really thick skin to it, and you have to, because when you put yourself on the internet, you're going to get a lot of positivity, but you're going to get tons of people who just like, they hate you just because you're whatever, a girl, because I'm Asian, because I'm like, I'm bad at a game, whatever, or just for existing. They're just going to be mad at you. And if you like, sometimes when I'm like not feeling great, I'll look at those comments and I'll really internalize them, and I'll let them ruin my day. And Edison can attest to how many days I've just been like he'll be like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, I read a horrible comment on my YouTube channel, and I just feel like it really hit a spot. Like it'll hit, sometimes they actually get at your insecurities, things that you hope no one would notice about you, or like things you thought you weren't funny that day, or you made a bad joke, and then someone will be like, that joke sucked. Like, wow, she's so not funny that like I can't believe she even has a job. Like how? And then you're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize it was actually bad. Like sometimes you'll read those comments and they'll get to you. Like a lot of comments don't, but like there are a few, and I really like try to just what happens. I just talk to my friends about it, and they're like, Leslie, it happens to all of us. But like you just gotta like my friends really gassed me up, and they're like, that is so untrue. Like look at how far you've come. Got it. And then my friends will also like have days where like I just want to take the whole week off and cuddle up in a ball and eat fried chicken all day because I'm so sad about the comments I'm receiving. And all of us take our turns going through like something that just happens. Like, have you heard of live stream fail? Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah. There's like it's like, something, if you mess up on stream, people clip it and they put it on this a subreddit. And sometimes it gains a lot of attention to the point where like everyone's talking about you in a really negative light. And when my friends go through that, or if I go through that, like it's having each other is like probably the best thing ever. It's just like a support system who tells you, like, they're just telling you that like you're gonna make it through. And it seems like the end of the world when you just read comments and they're like yikes, imagine being this girl, or they're just like, so like these comments are just trying to tear you down. But then I just think, okay, you know what, move on. Like just, I don't know, I just keep going, and the more you experience it, the stronger you get. So I'm pretty numb to it now because I got a lot of hate in the past years. So
Yeah, that thick skin and that your support system. Definitely every streamer needs that then.
Yeah, and you don't want to give, like, the worst thing you can do is like give into it and be like, yeah, you know what? I quit streaming because of that comment. And then they win. And like, who is this person anyway? That's like literally, who is this person? So it doesn't matter. It's like I try to just put a weight on the words of the people that matter around me. And I also, the one thing that does help me is I like vent to my community a lot. Like if something bad, if my feelings get hurt, sometimes I'll just be like, guys, I'm in a really bad mood. I read a really mean comment. And they're like, no, Leslie, don't believe them. You're great. And I'm like, and then they're like, so many of them that it's like, you can't be in a bad mood when you look at your Twitch chat and they're just like, the cute hearts and hugs and everything. And you're like, okay, you know what? I feel better. So I just cry it off, talk to my community, and then I just move on. And it really does. Because I think at the core of it, my fear is like one of those comments is that like it spreads and everyone starts to be like, wow, yeah, screw this girl. And then like everyone, and then I go live and I think all the comments are gonna be like, this girl sucks. But really it's like one guy who said that maybe got 2 upvotes on YouTube. And then,
right.
Yeah.
And your community is there to back you up as well. That's actually awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It seems like we have a lot of questions for you, actually. But before we get into that, I feel like a lot of people would be interested to know what your work day or your work week is like.
Yeah. Work day. Okay. So I take Tuesdays and Fridays off usually. Today is a Tuesday, so this is why I was able to do this. And then, but I do movie nights on Tuesdays with my community. We do it in like a Discord, so that's fun. Fridays, I just try to just do nothing. Sometimes I do my laundry, take a bath, and that kind of stuff. So that's fun. Monday. Okay, so on my stream days, it really depends. It depends on the meta of Twitch. Among Us right now. Usually, like right now, I have a lot of Twitter groups that are going, hey, you free Thursday, 5 p.m. for an Among Us lobby. We got boom, 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 boom. Okay, this is who's in it. Or sometimes I have nothing planned. So I'm like, hey, do you guys want to play Among Us? I'm in a bunch of Discords and like, I just at everyone. Or sometimes like, hey, would anyone be interested in playing right now? So sometimes it's scheduled and sometimes I wait for something to get scheduled. Or I just hop on and just see where the night takes me. Or to have like a game in mind, like Valorant to play or whatever. But usually I wake up at 11. I play with my cat Sock, and then he's really cool. I wonder if he's around. Sock, probably not. Yeah, but if he was around, I could show you. He's really cute. And then I play with my cat, and then I go downstairs. I make coffee, and then eat lunch, and then I kind of answer emails if there's any sponsor stuff I'm doing. I make sure I'm in a back and forth. And like today, I had to post a bunch of stuff for Best Buy. I had a sponsorship. So I had to post a YouTube video, an Instagram post, Twitter post, and Instagram story. And I had to have them all go live at 1. So at like 12:30, I was like, making sure the tags are right. And when you work with a company like Best Buy, I just really don't want to mess up. So I was just like back and forth. I was on a phone call, just like, okay, did I post this right? Is this correct? And it was a whole approval stage, like about a month of back and forths with them. So some days I'm filming for those kinds of sponsors, or I'm just like in talks with those. And some days there's no sponsors at all. And so then I just go straight to streaming, and then I stream, and then I let the stream take me wherever it takes me. And then I end after like 6 or 8 hours, sometimes shorter, depending if I'm doing something at night. And then I end the stream, and then I usually just chill. I eat dinner, hang out with my fiance or my roommates, and then hang out with my cat some more. And then it's pretty standard. It's like wake up 11, sleep at 2 a.m., and then find time for work. Work takes place from like 1 to like 9 p.m. work.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then but like sometimes, like yesterday, I was it was like a day off, right, in my mind, because I was really stressed from the day before. Like Among Us had just been really burning me out, and so I was like, I'm not gonna play Among Us. So I was watching TV with Edison. We were watching like How to Get Away with Murder, and then I get a text from Toast. And he's like, hey, Among Us, like right now, pretty much. Or like he had messaged me 50 minutes ago saying Among Us in 48 minutes or something. Or Among Us in like basically at that moment it'd be in 2 minutes. And
Yeah.
then my first thought was like, no, like I don't want to play, but at the same time I want to play because you know that you should play. You should go. You can go live. It's free content. You're gonna play with a bunch of cool content creators. So like it was kind of like a battle of like my work self and my personal, like my chill self. And my chill self was like, no, don't work. And my work self was like, no, take the opportunity and go. And then so I was like internal struggle. And so what I said, I was like, Toast, hey, like I really don't mind. I can play, but like only if like you guys need somebody. And he's like, oh, okay, like it's fine, we filled. And I was like, okay, yeah, perfect. Like I didn't want it to be like make room for me, but just like if you guys need someone, I'll fill. And then luckily I remember he said like, okay, we got someone. And then he like, I was like a sigh of relief. I was like, yes, I can just like shower now. And like
but self-care, you know.
Yeah. So I think like that can be something that like you definitely like the battle between. What was the question? Oh no, I keep tangents.
I can't seem to remember either, but it's okay. That was a lot of good insight there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have a lot of questions from the chat, so we're just gonna move on to those instead.
Hi, chat.
Yeah, chat. She can see you too, so you know, tell her hi and everything.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, David. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Minari. Hello, Ophi. Hello.
We have a question from Justin Fan. What other career opportunities other than streaming have you discovered throughout your experiences that are related to streaming and the gaming industry? So
what other career opportunities like that I've discovered after getting into streaming, like that I would be interested, like is he asking like what could I potentially go into after streaming? Or
I think he's asking just first, what other opportunities have you noticed like in this industry?
Oh, so many. If you want to get into this space, there's actually so many things. They have like just off the top of my head, like some things that a lot of friends or people I know, there's like social media managers. So there's like agents, people who like manage streamers. They have like there's so many orgs, right, within streaming. So you can work for one of those orgs, and in those orgs, I'm not sure like every position, but like I definitely know like you have people who manage merch for those orgs. And then art. If you're an artist, they have so many people. I see freelance artists just like starting up their websites and just tweeting out their art, and then a lot of streamers can commission them, or just companies in general can commission those artists. I feel like there's so many in marketing in general, like advertising. Okay, something I've noticed as I gotten into streaming is like it's obviously blown up, and so like tons of companies are trying to get into the streaming space, and like hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to and I think what I notice is a lot of companies don't get it. Like they'll bring me something that looks like this is not how the best way for me to get your product across to my viewers. Like it seems very like they want to get into the space, but they don't have a good understanding. And I think like what I'd imagine is that there has to be some jobs that like helps these companies like connect better or understand better how like people who really understand the Twitch culture and streaming space. And like I'm not sure what the job would be, but I definitely noticed like a lot of companies could use that just helping a company, say like, I don't know, Burger King or something, to properly like advertise like with an X amount of budget. This is the best way to spend your budget, like whether it's like on one content creator or many, or to run like I don't know, whatever it is. And I think Burger King ended up doing like kind of a not so great of like a job. They ended up like just using like the donation link and saying like, hey, this is a $5 donation from Burger King. With this amount of money, you can order a this, and this, and basically just like using the money to show off that like, but like anyone could have told them that that's a bad idea. But like they clearly don't have someone working with them to tell them like this isn't a great idea. But like I feel like people who actually understand the streaming space could have anyone like consulted them about that, right? So I think as this space is growing, people who truly understand the space, I feel like there'd be a lot of opportunities for them. But yeah,
what are some of the jobs that are kind of coincided with your business? Like I know you have a manager and
oh,
such like that. Can you explain a little bit of that?
yes, I have an agent, agent manager. She basically is I go to her anytime I have a crisis. Basically, I'm like, what do I do? And she also brings me all of my sponsor deals. She emails me, hey, this company interested in working. This is what the ask is. This is how much, and yeah, this is lays it all out. And then yeah, you can negotiate. Sometimes it's like, oh, can I do it with these people? Which is always better. Like I always want to do it with my friends. I take way less money if you just add one friend. Like I'll do anything with my friends. And so there's that. That's what Hannah does. She's amazing. She works for UTA, which is a United Talent Agency.
Right.
And then I also have an assistant, a PA. Her name is Cheery. She works with a lot of streamers. Now I've been working with her since 2018, but she is she basically makes sure I'm on top of everything. She runs. I also have editors. I have 3 editors right now who work on my YouTube channel, and we have a flow right now. Like I'll be playing Among Us, and after every Among Us game, I timestamp the game, and then I send the timestamps to my editors and say, "Hey, these are the games that were good." And then one of my editors, he's like the lead editor, he tells the other editors, assigns them to which videos, and he lays out a schedule. And then Cheery is also in that group, and she basically makes sure that they're on top of uploading everything. And once they're uploaded, make sure like the thumbnails up, make sure that like the info, the description, the tags are right. And then so like they help me run that side of my life. And so they're amazing. They've done such a good job this past month with Among Us. Like something about streaming is like you have to kind of adapt to like when things are happening. So when you notice an Among Us craze is happening, or like when Fortnite was blowing up, you kind of have to know, okay, this is the time to push out a lot of that kind of content onto YouTube. And if you want to like go for those rides, but like that's kind of how you grow on Twitch. And so for Among Us, I was like noticing it was doing well. So I had one video that did well. So I was like, okay. So I asked my editors, like, can we get one more editor and let's pump out videos, double the time, double the speed, and double everything times 2. And then they're like, yeah. So then, so I communicated that to all of them, and then they were like, got it. And then, so then that's that side. And then, I feel like, and then, that's in terms of, like people like I work with, like finance. Do I pay anyone else financially? Yeah.
Do I pay?
I think so. Yeah, they're like they work hard, and like Cheery makes sure like it's nice because like if I don't post something for HyperX, if I don't post something for like a deliverable, she's like, hey, bumping you, and she like, you need to do this, you need to do this post, and also here are all your analytics for this month. I'm sending them over to Hannah, so they all communicate with each other as well. Sometimes Hannah and Cheery will like do back and forth. Or Cheery sometimes will just be like, hey, like I noticed that a lot of people are talking about this in your community. You should probably do this. Or merch ideas, this, and this. Like just like random ideas to inspire me and whatnot.
Yeah, you have like a whole sort of like kind of like dynamic, a whole like kind of work schedule with different people as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let's see. I saw another question here, something about how do you deal with an embarrassing moment on stream? Because you were saying there's a lot of moments like that with live stream fails. How do you deal with that?
You have to embrace them. The more you fight off the embarrassing moments, the more that they'll come to haunt you. You can't give power. You give power by hiding the embarrassing moments. And so I have had embarrassing moments on stream, very embarrassing moments. And when I first tried to hide this embarrassing moment, it didn't go off well. And people like I realized that people would use that and like make me uncomfortable with that. But now, as I've embraced it, people realize, oh, she's not bothered by it anymore. And I'm genuinely not bothered by this thing that happened. And so then people stop bugging me. Or when they do it, it literally doesn't faze me. So it doesn't affect my mental. But before I'd be like, oh God, they're going to bring it up. They're going to bring it up. And then they bring it up and I'm like, oh God, But now, yeah. So you just don't give people the power to embarrass you. It's crazy. It's like, it's a really powerful thing. If the thing itself doesn't bother you, then people bringing it up will not affect you. This is a life lesson, just like don't let it bother you. But it's easier said than done because, of course, in the moment it's like, oh my God, that happened, but just kind of just accept that it happened and kind of try to laugh it off, if anything. Yeah. Or make a joke out of it or turn it into a meme.
Gotcha. You don't let it control you at all. No.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Spicy Text says, what is one of your favorite moment after streaming for this many years?
Oh my goodness. I think some moments when I've been truly happy have to be TwitchCon. I get to go to like a convention and literally see like all the people that have supported me and my friends and each other in person. And it is like a feeling like no other. It's like I'm so overcome with emotion during these events because it's like everything is real. Like it's not all some dream. Like I'm going here and these people that I talk to online and watch my stream and support me, and they flew from across the world to be here, and they're with their friends now, and like you get to really step back and see how awesome like live streaming is, and how powerful community can be, and how it really just brings people together. I mean, that's really what community is, right? So it is just when I get to see the community in real life. And also I think Streamer Camp was a project that I got to do that really resonated with me. And I'm really sad about this COVID thing. I think that's the number one thing I'm the most upset about, is that like I can't run Streamer Camp. And I just feel really bad about it. And I think, but like when I think about how like true moments when I'm like, wow, I love this moment. This is amazing. I felt that at the end of Streamer Camp as well. Just, it's everything I wanted to do. Even though it's janky and like low produced and everything, still great. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I remember Streamer Camp, and that you kind of created your own community with that as well.
Yeah. Cute. Sorry. It just makes me happy. I got to see all of them like all the seasons, like the community, how they became friends, and then the friends within the season, and then how a lot of them are just my really good friends now. Like I barely knew them before Streamer Camp, and now like I see them all the time or talk to them all the time.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. A follow, kind of like following that, Amaya says, what goes into community building on Twitch?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay. A lot. But I'd say it's really not as hard. Like it kind of just happened. Like, you know, you say hi to a few people and then you go live and you say hi to them again, and then they are talking to each other, and then you create some other, you know, mediums for them to meet in Discord, and then people start sharing about, like, they really do it on their own. Like, of course I didn't put I can't put all this time into it. I have there's a bunch of people in my community, and a lot of them like just they put in so much effort to like bring people together, or like they're not afraid to be the butt of the joke and like have people like, you know, meme around them. Shout out to Trey. He's in my community. He's been around for a long time, and people like, he has brought so many people together because of just everyone likes to lovingly pick on him, and like, you know, hopefully it doesn't get too much, but things like you create a lot of like memes and jokes within the community, and then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I think that's what really that really just grew the community a lot. I do sub interviews, which helped a lot on stream, just talking to like kind of like this, it looked like this, you know, and then you just ask people about their lives, and then from there, people would reach out to that person, be like, I saw your sub interview and you seem really cool, or we're from the same area. I even had people in my community like work with each other now, because like one of them was on a sub interview, and then like the other guy reached out to him with a job and was like, oh, like, I didn't know you work here, like come work for me or work with me, or it just blew my mind. And then at TwitchCon, they're like, we're coworkers now, and I was like, what? We're dating now? What? Like, it's just like, it's crazy,
right?
Yeah. To see like things like that happen. Or to see friend groups grow and develop. And so it takes a lot of work. I try to do like sub interviews, movie nights, just be really interactive with my chat. I encourage that a lot. And then they all just love each other now. Well, there's drama too, but not really any right now. But in general, sometimes there's like, you know, people can't always get along all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was a question. Zainab asked, how do you make sure your content stays fresh and unique?
Hard, very difficult, because it's been 5 years. Fresh and unique. I guess as long as I'm engaged with it, like I'll be entertaining doing, because if I'm having fun doing it, like it'll show. And so I always like try and just find things that, like, if I'm playing a game for a long time, maybe add a twist to it, or see if like, I guess as long as I'm engaged with it, then I think it'll be a fun, unique stream, and the content will be good. But there are times where I just completely like, I'm just streaming and I realize I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying the game. Why am I playing this game? Or like, what am I doing? And I just like need to step back and recognize that. Because sometimes after 5 years of doing the same thing, it can feel like very like autopilot. But you can't be autopilot when you're streaming. It's just like, it's just not. People are gonna be like, what am I even watching? Like if I'm just like saying the same things over and over and over and over again. But I think that's one of the biggest challenges right there, is staying fresh and unique.
Right, yeah, and keeping happy with it, with what you do. Let's see if we can do this. If you were to go back in time, what would you say to pre or early streamer Fuslie?
You're about to go on the craziest ride of your life. Yeah. I just tell her to really enjoy the next 5 years. Oh, don't stress. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be. Everything's gonna work itself out. Because back then I was really stressed that I wouldn't be able to pay for rent. I wouldn't be able to like I was just in constant fear of losing my job, basically. Because when you have like, when you're 100 viewer streamer on Twitch, anything can happen. You can just lose your job like that. I mean, is it really like no stability? So that constant anxiety was always eating at me. And if I could just tell her that like that's not going to happen, just enjoy the ride and reach out to more people, and stop stressing over the little things and the numbers. Just really like enjoy the time on Twitch and the like what it is, And I would tell her also not to play any copyrighted music and stuff, because that has been a problem. And I'm almost going to lose my account for the DMCA strikes. So don't do that. Yeah. Don't rub that. Yeah.
All right, we only have a little bit more time, but let's see. There's some few last questions. Fire and Ice says, when was your first time where you noticed the impact you have on people?
I think it was like 2016, around like my birthday, like when people like, I got this a book of people, and my community, and they had all written down like just like a letter to me, each person. Like every page was a photo, and then it was like, hey Leslie, and it was like people telling me what this community and what I'd meant to them. And I just read it, and I couldn't believe that like that I had impacted that many people. It just blew my mind. And I was like, I have a stream of that day, and I was like, I was crying so much, because I was like, I can't believe it. Like people actually like, this is real, like so real. I took it back to my parents, because like, Mom, like I really want you to see that like this is like actually more than like it's actually impacting people in a positive way. And she's like, why do people like you? And I'm like, Mom. And she's like, I mean, I just, okay, you know what? Just if people like you, then they like you. And, but it was crazy. Like, I think that was the first time I really got like the whole picture of it. And that pushed me. And I just wanted to grow and motivate. And it motivated me. And I wanted to touch more people and like, have this community grow into something bigger and bigger and bigger. And it really has. Blows my mind.
Yeah, right. I think we might have enough time for one or two more questions. Ophi says, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Hard question, Ophi. I could be streaming. I could be. That is the like craziest thing to think about, because I'll be 37. I could be streaming. That's a crazy thing. But I also could be, maybe I start my own business. Maybe I'm retired. No, I'm not gonna be retired by then. I really like interior design, but I don't think I have enough knowledge to be and to do that. I probably, have 2 kids and a cat. I'll have Sock still, and probably another dog, or another cat, and then a dog. And then hopefully I'll have a job that I enjoy. I would like to work from home in 10 years, for at least the next 10 years. I really enjoy like the freedom of working from home. And so maybe working from home with taking care of the kids and yeah. nothing crazy. I don't have like, I'm going to be a CEO of this company and start my own business and this and this. Not yet. But I mean, it could. Yeah. But I haven't really thought that far in the future.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Let's see. JJ82Ops says, what kept you motivated to continue streaming after you tried it and not risk it with college and a career?
And not risk it with college and a career. So basically he's asking like, why did I keep streaming after I started and versus like going back to, I mean, I just was having so much fun with it. And for the first 6 months of streaming, I actually thought to myself, this is a hobby and that's it. And I remember what my mod, the same mod that brought me and Kimmy together, was like, do you think you'll ever go full time? And I was like, hell no. Like, I did not get a degree in biology to stream on Twitch. And I remember being like so certain because I'm like, I studied so hard. I worked so hard. It's like, I like to get my degree and like to do well. And I did really well in college and I wanted to be a doctor. And I was like, I did not work all that just to do something that doesn't require any of that. So I was really stubborn about it. And then it kind of like, when I kind of started working out and I was like, oh, like, you know what? I'm going to find a job in esports. And then Twitch will be like, it kind of, after I saw everything that League was and like, you know, just like the esports scene, I saw so much potential in its growth. I realized like maybe I don't have to do something that I studied 4 years for. Just because I spent my college years doing it, it doesn't mean I'm stuck to it. And it took a while for me because I'm somebody who like, you know, you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be like, you don't want to say like I wasted 4 years of my life, which I don't think I wasted, but it's like I could have majored in something else in my mind, right? But I just realized everything that I did in college, I accept that I did, and I'm happy that I did it. And all of it led me to this decision to stream, and it wasn't a waste of time. And maybe it wasn't fully necessary, but like I kind of just like maybe without that, I wouldn't have been where I was today. And so I just took it as a, yeah. So anyways, I had such a good time with it that I just kept going. And I told myself that, yeah, like, let me give it a try. Because it felt really special. Like I felt like I was.
You got to take that opportunity too, right?
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, that was all the time we had for. Do you have any more departing thoughts or final comments that you want to get out there?
Not really. Kind of got it all out. I just, you know, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was really cool to share my story. I hope it was somewhat helpful.
Yeah, most definitely. I do think so. I do want to thank you so much for joining us today. I know many of our students were extremely excited to get to hear from you. You provided a lot of great insight, and I know many of our students have like kind of a better understanding now.
Shout out to Fullerton. Yeah.
Thank you so much. If people want to see you or your content again, where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/Fuslie in the bottom. That's how you spell it. Or YouTube or Instagram or wherever. That's my socials on anything. It's just my name all mixed together, Leslie Fu, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's what it is. So you can find me there. And I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I was relatively coherent.
Yeah, you were great. Thank you so much. So this has been Twitch streamer and content creator Fuslie, and I'm Christian Sanchez, an executive producer for ASI at CSUF. For everybody watching, thank you so much for joining us on our second episode of Titan Talks, and I hope to get to see you all next time. Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hello.
Oh, am I supposed to hang up?